Hold up. My views are my own. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Lightning round. Dangerously close.
Yeah.
My guest today is Kris Bird. Kris Bird loves captivating conversations, s'mores, petting moss, and curing other people's boredom. With over a decade of combined knowledge in the publishing industry and 2 5-star books, Kris is set to release the ultimate sci-fi series, Time Benders, later this year. Back to the Future and X-Men fans will both swoon. I'm an X-Men fan. I'm going to swoon. I can't wait.
Yay!
I can't wait to swoon.
Topic of conversation for the whole podcast.
I don't recall the last time I swooned, but I'm going to say I love to swoon. How's it going, Kris?
It's going great. Thanks for having me on your show.
So we had emailed back and forth a little bit, and you had mentioned a few topics that interest you and are near and dear to your heart. And so I just kind of took that and ran with it. And and I'm going to tell you, if there's one animal I love, it's penguins.
Yay!
Were you aware that Benedict Cumberbatch cannot pronounce the word penguin?
Oh my God, no. Oh.
You can look it up. It's pretty amusing. He says penguin. And he was, and it's what's
I have like 10% respect for him.
Well, I don't know. Did you see the wonderful story of Henry Sugar? It actually really brought me back up on Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm a Cumberbatchian again. What do you call his fans? Cumber buddies?
Cumberbatcher.
Cumber bastards. I'm a Cumber bastard again. Well, it's a Roald Dahl book. Do you like Roald Dahl? Like Madeline, like that kind of shit?
No, sorry.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Anyway, what's so weird about that? He got selected to do kind of like a Morgan Freeman, Sir David Attenborough type, thing where he's narrating a nature show about penguins, but he can't say the word penguin for some reason. So it's like him just going like on and on and on about penguins and their their habitat and their predators, and I was like, come on, man. Penguin.
Oh, take a shot every time he says it wrong.
You would die.
Make it very interesting. Yeah, I love penguins so much. I have this bracelet. I don't know if you can see, but it has a tracker on my penguin who's in South Africa.
Oh.
So I can sign on anytime and just see where he's at.
What kind of penguin is he?
I don't know. I'm not Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't know the names of all.
Okay, well, how about this? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love penguins?
Probably a 15.
Wow, that's a lot. Well,
one of the reasons why I moved to Atlanta is because they have like this huge penguin exhibit, and every day at 5 p.m. they used to have a penguin parade.
Whoa, really?
They would like march the little penguins down a ramp and everybody would stand around and take pictures. Yeah, it's probably why I moved to Atlanta.
Cool. You're down at ATL. Do you ever run into Ludacris at all?
Not yet, but I have run into TI, so I guess I'm an official. Yeah.
Was he like as wild as he says he is?
He seems like a really sweet guy. We were at a Joyner Lucas concert that was it was a $7 concert, and he kept having like guest stars, like local rappers come on and just spit their thing and then leave. And I was like, that's really sweet, giving these comeuppance to these guys. And then somebody knocked on the door and he goes and answers, and T.I. walks out, and we're just like, what? So we got to see T.I. for $7.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Ti has like had some bad press in the past, but I think he's a really smart dude. He was on some show with Candace Owens, and she was really saying some like very negative, awful kind of shit. And Ti like actually really schooled her, just kind of like. So I gained a ton of respect for as much respect as we lost for Benedict Cumberbatch for not being able to say penguin. I would say I gained 10 times more respect for Ti.
Take that little bit and just give it on over to Ti.
Yeah, he took Benedict Cumberbatch's respect and put it in his own basket. I some people get the easiest interviews and some people get the hardest interviews, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you yours is gonna be it's gonna be a lot of easy stuff is gonna happen right after this first part, which is gonna be very hard because we're starting with an extremely difficult World Wildlife Federation quiz about emperor penguins.
Oh God.
Okay, I'm gonna be here with you. But I feel like, hey, let's learn some stuff about penguins. All right, so I'm just gonna ask you a question, and just like we'll just guess, okay? And
Okay.
there's 10 questions, and I'm excited to. We're all gonna learn so much. I bet most people don't. Most people don't even know where emperor penguins even live. I bet most people didn't even know that an emperor penguin was different than like, let's say, like a miniature penguin.
Okay.
What are they called? I don't know what they're called. Okay. Where do emperor penguins live? I'll give you a hint. Oh, you got it. You're right. Antarctica. Hell yeah, you're off to a badass start. Yes. Wild emperor penguins are only found in Antarctica. That's pretty amazing.
Yes.
Okay. Out of all the penguins, where do you think emperor penguins are ranked in size? Like from smallest to biggest?
They're probably the biggest, fattest ones, right?
That's correct. You've got two in a row. Holy shit. That's actually, you are a penguin expert. Okay. This one's insanely hard, and there's no way you could possibly know the exact number because it's like, this is a very specific number because penguin researchers use like satellite imagery and shit to like, to really
track a penguin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you track a penguin on your bracelet. All right. Try to see if you can guess within 100,000. That's like my goal. Like if you can guess within 100,000, what is the population of emperor penguins?
700,000.
Sadly, no, because climate change is diminishing their population. They are now down to about 265,000 emperor penguins, which still sounds like a lot, but you got to think like they are food for like orcas and so
they're mean sea creatures.
well, I know, why am I making this?
What about jerks?
I would say, I don't know, I think orcas are one of my favorite animals, so I want them to eat too. I just want people to stop melting the polar ice cap so that we can just have more penguins, and then the orcas can have more food. Okay. Damn, I already kind of blew this one here. How do scientists know how many penguins there are?
So there's a penguin wrestler, and he wrestles them to the ground, back their little feet.
Close, extremely close.
That's my job. Like if I don't make it as a writer, I'm just gonna become a penguin wrestler, like Steve Irwin.
I mean, oh my God, that would be so well. Antarctica would be so cold, but if your job was just to wrestle penguins and count them, I mean, it seems like
they're not at all like crocodiles. So like I would wrestle them down, and they're like, "All right, calm down, like just distract me already."
Kris, I'm sad to say, although your version of this is very cool, and I wish it was true, the actual answer is satellite imagery. That's how they're able to figure out how many colonies they are and like approximate their population.
Oh,
sorry, but now we're going into penguin love, which actually I already read this, and I found this fascinating. These are very chivalrous animals. So okay, I should have thought before I started this podcast, like how was I even going to ask you these questions, because they're not written as questions. This is really just an article with 10 like amazing facts, and I'm turning them into questions. All right. After penguins have a courtship. They have their courtship display. They make sweet, beautiful love. How many eggs does a mother penguin lay?
Is it one?
It is one. And
What?
yes, bonus question, and this one is even crazier. So after the mother penguin lays one egg, what does she do with it?
She gives it to the boy penguin, and he has to sit.
That is correct. She gives it after the mother penguin lays the egg, she goes, "Peace, I'm going fishing." And she swims away, and the dad penguin balances the egg on his feet for between 65 to 75 days to keep it warm. Isn't that crazy?
That must be so nice.
So he just stands there for 75 days balancing an egg. That sounds insane.
Yeah. All while I was pregnant, I would just like randomly look at my husband and be like, "You do it. You do it." I don't want to do it.
Oh man, I'm like, this is the most educational episode we've done in a very long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Science.
This is crazy. Okay, how cold can emperor penguins live in? Like what's like a temperature they can live in and they're just like totally just fine? Like what's the coldest?
Is it negative 60 degrees?
Do you mean Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Oh, probably Celsius, right? We're the only ones who use Fahrenheit in the US, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, international researchers do not use any of our customary shit. So yeah, you were so fucking close. Negative 50 degrees Celsius with winds of up to 200 kilometers per hour. Yeah, so they don't use miles either. So
that's like what?
I cannot convert from Celsius.
Probably 75 miles an hour winds, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're fucking crazy. They have like yeah, anyway.
Not allowed to be that cold anywhere on Earth. Like
I'm gonna absolutely give that to you because you were off by 10 degrees, but that's that's insane. So
you know what's crazy? It's only because I saw a video of this researcher in Antarctica the other day, and she was taking a video of the sunset, and it was negative 50 degrees, and I was like, "Wow, why?" Like that's the only reason I knew.
You're kicking. Do you have any idea how many you've gotten right? Every single one, but except for one so far. Okay, this one's going to be really hard. Also, bear in mind we are using the metric system because these are international researchers. This is in Antarctica. Sadly, I will not be able to convert these numbers. So
sadly, one wants to use our dumb unit of measuring.
Remember, so I'm not asking you in terms of feet or yards. We're asking in terms of meters. How deep can a emperor penguin dive? And I'm going to give you a hint. It's insane how far they can dive.
Oh, gross. My thalassophobia is making me itchy right now.
What's glossophobia? Is that fear of deep water?
Yeah, thalassophobia is like the fear of the deepness and vastness of the ocean. Just like we know more about the surface of Mars than we do about the surface of the ocean floor, and that skeeves me out to no end.
Yeah.
So when I just think of a penguin diving and like, you know, the icebergs, and you can see just how far down it goes, it just like I'm gonna guess meters, right? Okay, wait, that's like a yardstick. Okay.
Yeah, a meter is almost a yard, right? Dude,
yeah.
This podcast has so many international listeners, especially like in the UK, Canada, and Australia, really? And they're all being right now. They're like, these fucking Americans. I know it. I know it. like a meter. That's like a yard, right? Yeah, they're close.
That the U.S. was supposed to adopt the metric system. It was either the 16 or the 1800s, and like England had put all the unit of measurements on a ship, right, to send to us so that we could like learn this, right? And the ship sank. So like,
oh,
but
wow.
I just love how US is that, right? Like, the ship sank. All right, forget it. Like, we're not gonna bother.
Yeah. We were like, I thought it was more like we were like, bald eagle, fuck you, king. You can't tell us what to do. Yeah, raccoon hat.
Well, now that is the case, probably.
I wrestled a bear. Okay, if you can guess. If you can guess this within 50 meters, I will give you the answer. I will give it to you as correct.
That was my guess. 50 meters. She
Oh,
was,
your guess was 50 meters?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you.
Okay.
The deepest recorded dive was 564 meters. That's the equivalent of course, they're going to say, all right, this is once again for European listeners. That's the height of the Shard, Europe's tallest building. I don't know how many Empire State Buildings that is because that's what we say here in America.
We don't use any unit of measurement except for the metric system.
Can I share a quick anecdote?
Yeah.
My dad's buddy. This is when I was a kid. You know, he's like a this dude's like in his 80s now, but he's my dad's buddy. He was a Navy SEAL, and we went out on a lake one day, and we were like out in the middle of a lake, and I don't know how deep it was, but it was deep as shit. And he was really, you know, he'd been retired from the Navy SEALs for a long time, even at that point. And he's like, yo, you want to see something cool? And I was like, I always want to see something cool. And he just jumped off the boat and like dived into the water and was gone for like as a little kid, as a little kid, it seemed like forever. It was probably a couple minutes though. And he came back up and he had a fistful of mud because he like literally swam to the bottom of the lake and grabbed mud. This is a true story. So I don't know. Those Navy SEALs, man, they put those dudes through like some crazy ass training because like I don't know how his like eardrums didn't explode or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Tom Cruise or something. That's
Okay.
insane.
How much? Oh man, this is like in kilograms.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
All right. This is I can ask you two different ones. How much do they eat per day, or what is their favorite fish? Which one do you want to answer? They're both really hard.
Mackerel, right?
Silverfish. I thought that was a bug.
I know. I was gonna say, wait, is it okay? That's
They
a
also
real
like
fish.
they also like krill.
Those are like little teeny things, right?
Yeah, it's what Will and Bill from Happy Feet like to eat, and they like to eat squids.
I was gonna say don't get stuck in their teeth, and I was like, wait, no, they don't have teeth.
All right, so as we spoke earlier about how like the dad penguins will just sit there with the egg forever while the mom is off just on vacation in New Zealand, like chilling on the beach. How long can a male emperor penguin go without eating?
Is it 30 days?
It's actually 4 months.
What?
Yeah, they can sit there for 4 months.
That's why they're so fat, like, because they have to
Yeah.
have all that extra.
That's what it says. They need to rely entirely on the reserve of body fat that they built up during the summer feast to survive the long winter. That's crazy. 4
That's
months. These are the most incredible animals on the planet. Save the penguins. We have to save the penguins.
Yes, we
Kris,
have to.
you and me have to save the penguins. Last question. You've been kicking ass so far. These are all so hard.
I know all that I know about penguins from watching the movie Surf's Up. That's pretty much it.
Okay, here's the question is going to be really hard to ask because it's just an interesting fact. But what is what is a surprising physical like endeavor that a penguin can do besides swimming? Like what is something they can do on land that you would not expect them to be able to do?
They can slide around, right?
They can slide around. That is cool. But the answer was they can climb cliffs like how a mountain goat does. They can climb like a sheer ice cliff.
Oh my God, you're right.
Which apparently, due to climate change, will end up being like a really important like thing that they're able to do.
No,
So.
that makes me sad.
I know. Well, hey guys, if you're out there, I don't know. I don't even like when people are like, call your congressman. It's like, dude, all my senators and congresspeople where I live are fucking monsters, and they want the earth to burn, and they all believe in like the rapture. So it's just like, what's the point?
Here's the thing, like they've all been here way too long and they're so out of touch with reality. And it's really up to us, right? Because whether or not you believe in climate change is irrelevant. It's like pick up after yourself, like leave it better than you found it, you know?
Yeah.
And
ride a bicycle.
Yeah. Luckily, Stephen Hawking said we have 100 years. Granted, this was a few years back, but he said we have 100 years to undo what we need to in order to keep humanity going. That doesn't mean we have 100 years left to live before we all implode and die. That means we have 100 years to fix this.
Yeah.
Before everything, like, you know, everything will start snowballing, and then eventually we won't be able to back up. So everyone just keep that in mind. We have 100 years. We can still do this. Like, I know it seems bleak, but
Yeah, I mean, there's carbon sequestration. We can create animal corridors. There's a lot of amazing things we can do. And guys,
yeah.
if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for the penguins.
Yeah.
Chris, I got to tell you something. I have another quiz for you. But guess what? This one is so
Okay.
I want to say you did incredibly well on that. I think you got 5 out of 10 right, maybe 6 out of 10 right. I wasn't keeping track, but you did better than I would have done, and probably better than most people would have done. Moving on, you're going to get 100% on this one because only you know the answer to these questions. That's right. We're taking the "What kind of penguin are you" quiz from BuzzFeed. All right. It's going to say what's your favorite color, but I can only give you 4 options. So, what's your favorite color? Blue, pink, black, yellow.
Blue.
Okay. What's your favorite type of fish? Cod, shrimp, squid, herring.
I'm sorry I'm making that face. I don't know. I guess shrimp.
I would have to go with shrimp. I don't really eat seafood myself. What would you drink? What drink would you order at a restaurant? Water, iced tea, soda, wine.
Probably wine, but I don't really like wine. But if alcohol is an option, I'm gonna take that over
Yeah.
any other
I was gonna say, yeah, because I was like, well, I want them to just give me water and then I order wine. I don't know.
Like,
Okay.
wine though.
Oh, this one's gonna be really hard. If you were to have only one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Sushi, pasta, steak, salad. That's insane.
Boo whoever is choosing salad, first of all. Ooh.
But you have to live for the rest. You can't live off
Probably
steak for the
sushi.
rest of your life. Sushi, okay.
Probably sushi, because that's the healthiest one, and that would help you live longer, and your brain would be super happy if you ate sushi every single day.
Yeah, because you could also eat veggie sushi, so you'd get your veggies. Okay.
Yeah.
What is your favorite type of shoe? Sneakers, boots, heels, flats.
Sneakers.
You're a chin strap penguin.
What does that mean? I feel like
I don't know. It doesn't give you anything else. You're just that's what you are. A chin strap penguin. From the photograph, it's a picture of a penguin that has like a little he has a little line that looks like he's wearing a chin strap.
Oh, that's so cute.
Okay.
I mean, I would thought that doesn't matter which one, but
We have learned so much about penguins, and I just don't want to stop. You know, I have a favorite song about penguins. It's called "Penguin Attack" by GWAR. Are you familiar with GWAR?
no.
Okay, they're like a metal
You
band.
feel like a novice when it comes to being a Penguin fan.
Since I knew we'd be discussing penguins today. I decided to check out and see if because you had said maybe nerd culture could be something we could discuss. And I was wondering if there were any nerds out there that try to take all the fun out of the song with an academic analysis. And boy, oh boy, on October 3rd, 2023, Andrew Buchanan wrote just such an article for the website Old Time Music. Would you like to join me in analyzing his analysis? We could do it very quickly.
Yes.
Just to familiarize you with GWAR, they're a metal band. They dress up like monsters. They squirt like slime on the audience.
Okay.
But I'm just going to read you a few lyrics from the song just so you get an idea of like what kind of song this is. So like before you start hearing the guy do like academic analysis. So the chorus is, they were born of atomic steel. They attack. Life and death was so unreal. They attack. Come on, baby. Kick him in the ding ding. Trouble on the doubles. What I bring. They attack. It's a penguin attack. It's a penguin attack. Ayo, it's a penguin attack. So get back. So that's kind of the hook.
You can play the song in the background of our podcast when you're
I'm going to play a little snippet of the song right. And just I'll read one part of a verse too, just to kind of give you an idea of what the verses sound like. Stumbling from the ice age, they were last in flight. Fight. They would write a new page if they could only write. Right. Rumbling from the ice age, they were last in line. They would start a new age if they could just take time. So it's not a very serious song. It's a song about them. So they're all gladiators from another planet. That's kind of the lore of this band. And this is the story of them fighting for Antarctica is their favorite continent. So they have to fight the penguins for it.
Okay.
Here is Andrew Buchanan's article, The Meaning Behind the Song Penguin Attack by GWAR. Andrew writes, Penguin Attack is a notable song by the American heavy metal band GWAR. Released in 1991 as part of their album America Must Be Destroyed, this track highlights GWAR's unique blend of dark humor and social commentary. The meaning behind Penguin Attack is multifaceted as it delves into various themes that the band often explores. What do you think? Do you think this guy's full of shit?
What? Wait, give me a little backstory here. Why is he reviewing this band?
I don't know. He says, at its core, Penguin Attack symbolizes the chaotic and sometimes destructive nature of power structures and authority. The penguin, typically seen as a harmless creature, is transformed into a representation of a dangerous force. By choosing the penguin as their weapon, GWAR illustrates how even seemingly innocent entities can turn violent when pushed to their limits. That must be the part where he goes like, come on, baby, kick him in the ding-dang. Trouble on the doubles, what up, bring. I'm going to, fuck this. I'm moving on.
I think some people just need to find meaning in everything. And sometimes things can just be fun and you need to just let it be fun. You don't need to be so serious all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give them this. Sometimes there are songs by GWAR that I don't know that are about something. There's a song they have. I listened to it a million times. I had no idea until my friend told me it was about Sammy Davis Jr. And it turns out it was. So, Andrew Buchanan,
we're gonna love being like that.
Yeah, we're gonna skip the rest of that and move on to films because this is what I want to talk about.
Yes.
Enough about penguins. What is your pick for the most anticipated movie of 2024? Go.
2024?
Yes. Unreleased so far. Yet to be seen. What are you anticipating the most? What can't you wait to see?
This is such a hard question. Oh, God. Probably The Time Benders. No.
Is there going to be do you have a film adaptation?
I wish, but I am in talks with a couple people at Netflix right now. So,
oh fuck yes! Actually, I was gonna say, well, that's so exciting. I love when this happens.
You're the first to really hear that, but yeah, I've gotten some buzz over there, and I guess people want to talk to me. I mean, I'm just talking for now, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Oh, I'm so excited! I'm so excited to say you heard it here first because this is probably the last episode that's going to come out with the current theme song or current intro song where I go, you heard it here first, yeah. and like so. Oh, yeah. So hell yeah, a for real first time drop. That's so dope.
Yeah, let's keep it on the DL, but
well, we're not keeping it on the DL. I'm putting this out for the entire world.
I'm like bursting to tell someone, so I guess I should have known it was going to come out today. But yeah.
Oh my god, if you have any sway, I would love to be a bit part actor in your Netflix series. So if you get through the talks and you feel like putting a word in for me with the casting director, be like, hey, this guy I could do anything. Like
everyone needs voice actors right now. I've actually gotten a lot of requests to do audiobooks, and just like voice actors are so hard to find. And like really? If you have a voice, and it's actually really funny when you were reading off like my bio at the beginning of this, the way you said Time Benders, I was like, oh my god, can you do the trailer for the Time Benders movie?
Oh hell yeah. Oh yeah. I wish I had something to read. I wish I had I don't have anything with me in front of me to read. I'll just make it up. Time Benders. Here they come. Coming. Here they come. Summer 2025 on Netflix. It's funny that I think the reason Benedict Cumberbatch was on my mind is I'm attending a little acting class intensive at the end of this month, and they had wanted me I have to read a couple monologues, and the monologue that I picked was from that movie. That's why it was on my mind. But that is a narration. It's the actor that does it is Ralph Fiennes. I don't know if he's the guy that plays Voldemort.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the British accent, so I don't know if they're going to have an issue with that. And then the other one I picked, have you ever watched Community?
Oh, what? Now we just figured out what we're talking about for the rest of the podcast.
So I picked my other monologue is Jeff Winger. For people that don't watch Community, I'm sorry, we're kind of we're going a little deep.
Sorry, you suck. What are you even doing here with your life?
It's Jeff Winger's first speech that he gives to the study group. I was like, this is a great monologue. It's the one where he's like an Abed. Abed is a shaman. If you ask him to pass you the salt, he'll pass you soup because soup is better and Abed is better. And I was like, and he's like, guess what, guys? You just graduated from a study group to a community.
Love that show. And I love that I've decided that I've come to peace with the fact that during the pandemic, so many people got into Community. Because when it first started happening, they're like, oh, did you hear about the show called Community? I'm like, get out of my face.
Yeah, I done been heard about it.
Because we struggle, like true diehard Community fans, we struggled and we were there through thick and thin. And like, it kills me because I always knew back then that if the show had come out just 10 years later, it would have been the biggest thing on earth. And like,
it's so ahead of its time.
Yeah, it was. It really was. And
but I mean, it was great for its time as well. I mean, it's just, man, it's just such a smart show. I would say it's like my version of The Office. You know, like people that are really like The Office heads, they'll watch it over and over again. Like I can kind of do that with Community, where it's like it always cheers me up. It's always fun. So, and I guess like for some people that don't know, the creator of Community is the same creator as Rick and Morty, but it's a very different vibe. It's a totally different thing. Man, I took us so far off track.
He's a very smart, he does very smart writing. I mean, there was that Rick and Morty episode that came out recently with like the fortune cookies. I was like, this is the smartest thing I've ever seen. Like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I haven't seen most of the new season, so I don't know a lot of the new Rick and Morty, but I do think I'm a big fan. I mean, I think they're very smart writers.
Yeah. I mean, I love how Dan Harmon, like in the beginning of Community, was trying to appease the masses. And then, he was just like, you know what? You hate me anyway. You keep trying to cancel me. I'm just going to do whatever I want.
Yeah. He's like, what if I just make like episodes about people playing paintball inside of a community college over and over and over again? Yeah. Oh, hey, we got off track. Most anticipated movie of 2024. Okay. Although I am very excited to announce you're in talks with Netflix. So fuck yeah, let's hope that
first year.
Oh my god. And then tell them that a very talented podcaster with a voice that could say time benders. I don't know, I said it wrong. I'll practice.
Ultimately, what I want to do, and I don't know if we're really there yet, but what I would like to do is start doing episodes, I guess like they did back in the day, like with the original radio, just like people speaking to each other and like speaking through the parts just like you would on a stage. And then every episode is like something going on in the book instead of audiobooks. Cause I feel like if you're just listening to one person read the whole time, it's just kind of like, it falls a little flat.
Yeah. Radio drama. We do miniature radio dramas on this podcast all the time. It's like it's a recurring theme that happens quite often.
I feel like in the coming years, that's going to really take off. I don't know. Now that people have seen what their life is like when they don't have to commute, maybe, I don't know. But I think for 2024, I think people are forgetting a very important thing that happened in 2023. If they haven't felt it already, they're going to feel it. And that is the writer's strike. SAG strike that happened. I don't think people realize what 100 days of no new content is going to look like until we're all sitting around watching something like Tiger King, and we're going to be like, how did we get here? But I think we all need to brace ourselves for that sting. It's coming. And who knows, maybe once they can feel the burn of that, they'll start to wake up and realize like, oh, hey, this is happening and this affects me too. So I need to pay it. This isn't just a bunch of Hollywood actors whining and crying because they don't get their privilege. Like this affects us all. So I think we're going to see a real dip in like cool new things coming out for 2024. But I am excited about the new Avatar.
There's another Avatar coming out? I didn't even know that. Like a third one? Holy shit.
Yeah. So for those who don't really know or like, I'm not really into anime. I've tried so hard. I'm sorry, anime fans. I really, really try. I really do, but I just can't get into it.
You sound like the lead singer of Linkin Park right now.
Yeah.
I tried so hard.
I really did. I've been trying for years because I have a nerdy little brother and he's always telling me about these cool animes and I try, but I really just am looking forward to Avatar The Last Airbender fans just shutting the F up about them not getting what they're owed. They have, I think the first Avatar movie that came out, it was whitewashed. It was
Oh,
terrible.
you mean okay? I thought you meant Avatar, the
Oh no
the
no
the
no
the,
no no!
the James Cameron like blue people
Oh
on another planet like
yeah
Dances
no
with Wolves movie.
yeah
Okay,
no no
no,
no I don't care about that.
okay. You mean the Last Airbender Avatar? Yeah,
Yes
I forget they have
yeah
the first. They have a similar title.
yeah. So Avatar: The Last Airbender fans are supposed to get their move, or no, I guess it's a show on Netflix. You know, they got so like stiffed the first time around in like the worst way. I mean, just imagine like when the Community movie finally does come out. Imagine if it just sucked and like they didn't have the same actors and just like so people would riot in the streets, right? And that's how Avatar: The Last Airbender fans have been. And mostly I'm just looking forward to them getting what they're finally owed.
Yeah,
Hopefully, heard the reviews are really, really good. I haven't watched it yet. But hopefully they finally get what they really need to like, appease their
yeah.
fandom.
I don't know if this is on the same note, but I felt like that Dungeons and Dragons movie was pretty lit. The one
Oh
with
my God.
Chris Pine.
That was a sleeper, man.
Yeah,
That
I,
took us all by surprise. Yeah, yeah, that
uh,
that movie was so good. And I saw, I love movies where even if the entire movie is not interesting, if there's one part that I'm like, I've never seen that before, then I will like put that movie in my heart. But I feel like the Dungeons and Dragons movie, I feel like there was so much that I was like, I've never seen that before. I've never seen that done before in that way.
yeah.
And it was a sleeper hit.
I
And
I really
hopefully
enjoyed too that it was like it was made in a way where if you're a like I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, but I could see that if you were a Dungeons and Dragons player, there were so many inside jokes that were just for you. But the movie was made in a way that someone like me, who's outside of that realm of knowledge, I can see the jokes there. I just don't know, I'm like
yeah.
it's kind of fun like that.
Yeah. So my
So
brother Dan, he said that it was always like it felt like you were playing the game while you were watching the movie because it's always like, oh, what are we gonna do next? Okay, well, we should do this, and he thinks we should do this. So he said like that's why it was so exciting to watch the movie because it was just like playing the game.
yeah. Speaking of like other actors, okay, so what do we call Benedict Cumberbatch fans? Benedict Cumberbastards?
Cumberbatch.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So when Timothy Chalamet first hit the scene, and I think you might know where this is going as far as like my most anticipated movie of the year. But
Yeah.
when he first hit the scene, I was like, man, who's this skinny little guy? Who thinks he's better than me? That's kind of what I was thinking. But man, I have changed my tune, and now
Really.
I'm a Timothy
Shalamaniac.
Chalamaniac. I'm a Timothy Chalamaniac
I'm
now,
really good at these.
and
I should do.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that Dune 2 absolutely is up
Yeah.
there with most anticipated movie of the year. Also, you know what? I would be remiss if I don't give one shout out. I have to do it. A homie of mine that was on the show a while back, Edward Ashton, author of the book Mickey 7. His Brad Pitt bought the rights to his book, and it's being directed by Bong Joon-ho. Or it's already fucking filmed. Anyway, it's coming out this year, starring Robert Pattinson. Got to shout that out for everybody that was listening in 2022 when I interviewed him, and that movie was still in production. And that is something I think everyone should go see because I feel like almost like, it's one of those things like when your books are on Netflix, I'll be like, I knew that before everyone else. And
Yeah.
that's how I feel about
Yeah.
this movie. I was like,
Yeah.
I knew this before anybody else did.
Yeah. And to take on that, first of all, Robert Pattinson, he's my favorite Batman. Unpopular opinion.
He was good
I
at it.
just I'm not one of those like what are we gonna call Robert Pattinson fans?
Patton's shit.
We're gone. We're done.
Uh,
But like I'm not like one of those girls who was like obsessed with him. I just want him to do good in life. Like I just want the what's best for him. Like and I think he was my favorite Batman, honestly. Like I
he
was never
has
a male Batman fan.
He has high highs and low lows. That's what I'll say about Robert Pattinson. So
Yeah.
in Batman, he really shined. He really brought me
Yeah.
that sad Kurt Cobain Batman that we'd never had before, and I really liked that. And in Tenet, he was amazing in Tenet. I was like, oh my God, Robert! I didn't know Robert Pattinson could be this great. But then
Yeah.
he was in a film with Tom Holland where he plays a Southern Baptist preacher, and I
Yes.
I think he's British, and I guess no one really told him what a Southern Baptist preacher sounds like, and he kind of did like a foghorn leghorn thing, and
Yeah.
so it was a very low low for me with my Robert Pattinson fandom.
He really sufficiently creeped me out in that movie though. So
I mean, yeah,
I'm
he was a fucking
kinda,
creep. Yeah.
yeah, I'm putting that in the win column for him because I really
Okay.
felt the creep coming off of him in that movie. But
Yeah, because he always
yeah,
plays like desirable, every girl wants him type of dude, and in that role he plays. It's like yes, he's desirable and women want him, but he's a predator, and so yeah, okay.
yeah,
I won't call it a complete fail. I having lived in the South for most of my life,
yeah.
actors that cannot do a Southern accent, I'm like, maybe don't cast them for that role. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, or don't try because not everybody who lives in the South has a Southern accent, right? Like,
Yeah,
so
or just be like, or just kind of like halfway do it. Don't go. You know who's
all in.
the biggest perpetrator of this is someone who also I love is Daniel Craig, and he keeps like when he did Knives Out, I was like, Jesus Christ, Daniel Craig, because
Yeah.
he was my favorite James Bond, and then yeah, he lost a million eggs out of his basket on that performance.
Yeah, I've never been a Daniel Craig fan. I'm sorry. I don't think he's a good Bond. Boo. Like,
Boo.
because it's just the Bond franchise that's gone on and on and on. Like I understand they had to make it so much more serious after Austin Powers because no one really took Bond seriously after Austin Powers came out, but
Yeah.
just
Yeah, I would go as far as to say I know he's not exactly a Bond, but I would say Mike Myers was the best James Bond as Austin Powers.
yeah. Yeah, I think you're I think you're right. They should ironically cast him as the new Bond.
Okay. Oh my God, they should because Mike Myers hasn't done much in a while since he did that Queen movie, Bohemian Rhapsody. Okay, I've got so much more to get to, so I got to move us. We're on train.
Oh my god, and oh my
Okay.
god this, and
Yeah.
oh my god this.
It's
Okay,
a
we'll see
it's a roller coaster.
Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay.
Okay, we learned several things. I'm a Timothy Chalamaniac, and there's a possibly an insane new Netflix special coming out. We'll discuss that at a later date, perhaps.
Yeah.
But like you said, hope the last Airbender is going to be big. But you know what else is big? Big Pharma. That's right. We're moving over to Big Pharma
Yes.
because
Oh,
I told
God.
you.
I
literally
wasn't sure
told
if you were gonna go there. You
I
know,
literally told you I took your email and I was like, I'm just gonna this entire interview is just gonna be your email regurgitated. All right.
be a
Here-
lot of interesting topics, but before you go into Big Pharma, just know they might try and cancel your podcast if you say anything against them.
Well, I lost this entire thing because the New York Times won't let me read this twice.
Or did Big Pharma take it off before you got to read it?
Well, it was the they were doing the top four arguments. You know so a bunch of big pharmaceutical industry companies have been in negotiations with the Senate recently for to negotiate drug prices for things like insulin, heart medications, life-saving shit. And they're like, I can go ahead and say like the main argument that I saw that Big Pharma is coming back with is that if they don't continue to charge astronomical prices, then they will not be able to afford research and development, which I say that fucking horseshit. Go to like any country in like Northern Europe where everyone is like lives to 150 and doesn't pay for healthcare. But
Yeah. Oh, where do I even begin? Oh boy. I mean, with the whole insulin thing, right? Like, let's start there because that's a perfect example. Let's first cause the problem and then charge people to fix it. That's like a perfect like way to sum up Big Pharma right there is just let's create an environment where there's sugar in literally everything we eat in the US. Not to mention just about everything we eat is unhealthy in the US. You know, obesity is rampant, and then we're going to then later charge them for a life-saving drug once we've messed up their health beyond all, like, you know, being able to fix it. And yeah, that's unfortunate.
I got some great
Yeah.
news. I
Yeah.
literally just created a free account and I'm gonna read the article.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Sorry. So anyway, this is an op-ed. We're gonna skip everything that they said except for the handful of arguments. So yeah, we just said the first one. The argument number one: government negotiated drug prices will harm innovation and result in fewer life-saving drugs. Obviously, horseshit. I think you were pretty much dead on right there with everything you just said. Argument number two: government drug price negotiation is tantamount to price controls. What is your rebuttal? Also, what is your opinion of someone using the word tantamount?
That, if you think that our government and Big Pharma are on opposite sides of this argument, then you're already like light years behind in the whole conversation. I mean, these guys literally have their hand in Big Pharma's pocket, and
Yeah.
these are the people who are running our country. So if you look at the UK, for example, oh, this is a quiz for you.
Okay.
So the UK's version of the FDA, right? How many items do you think they have on their ban list?
I would guess like maybe 2,000 items.
It's over 12,000.
Damn, I was way low.
Yeah. And then how many items do you think the FDA has on their ban list?
Well, I know right now they're trying to like put birth control back on the banned list, but other than things that are like weirdly political like that, I guess maybe they've banned asbestos. You're not allowed to eat that. It's 25 things.
It's under 20.
Oh my God, it's under 20. I was close both ways just by being in the thousands, I think, the first time, and then within
And it's
5.
Yeah, because the FDA's job in the US is to prove that something isn't bad for you, whereas in the UK, they have to prove something is good for you before you can ingest it. And yeah, somebody's wrong, and I'm gonna take a guess that it's not them. It's not somebody's wrong here. Like, you don't have this many ends of the spectrum, like, and then say, I think someone's off by a few thousand.
And it's always weird shit too. They're like, you're not allowed to have mushrooms because you might trip and have fun. Or like, you can't have heroin, which I'm not going to sit here and argue that you should have heroin, but in their place, they're like, you can't have heroin, it's illegal, but you can have fentanyl or any number of fucking opioids that we sell you that are just as like, if not more dangerous than heroin.
Yeah. If you go to the doctor and say you have a cold, they will give you codeine. Like, it's just like, what?
I wish. Okay.
No, that literally happened to me once. That literally
really?
happened to me. I had, was it bronchitis? And they gave me cough syrup with codeine in it. And I was like, no, I don't need all that. Like, calm down, man.
Man, I was camping on a beach once and I ate a spoonful of codeine and woke up like, you know how like, when you wake up on the beach in a sleeping bag and you're like, ah, but it was extra because I had like slept way longer in the sun than I would have had I not ingested codeine. All right, argument number 3. Negotiated drug prices help the government, not patients. Rebuttal.
It would help us if we would put a cap on these drug prices, because Big Pharma has basically proved, we're going to keep charging what we want, and we could be as greedy as we want until I don't know, and I don't know what the end game is like, until we're all out of money.
It's funny, these people, like a lot of these people, especially pharmaceutical companies, also tech companies, they use weird language like gatekeepers and shit like that. And all they mean by that is like regulators. Like just shit that like that any like civilized country should have. Okay,
Yeah.
final argument that they're pushing back on these senators and Congress people that literally are already on their side, already owned by them. So obviously they don't have to come up with good arguments. You're gonna love this one. Having the government negotiate drug prices is unconstitutional.
Oh,
Can I say something? Having read the Constitution, I don't think that there's any fucking amendments regarding pharma prices. I mean, I guess you could like twist something around, like
to that end, it's
trying to say
like
it's free
we
speech.
we are light years behind in our laws and amendments to the Constitution. I mean, we are so far behind. Oh, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, oh, perfect example, AI, right? Japan overnight, this was over like Christmas week or something like that. They passed laws protecting artists and creatives overnight. When this AI thing got like so far out of control so fast, they were like, no, we're nipping this in the bud right now. And they passed laws protecting their artists. And here we are, like, and I think about the US and like, I think about remember when the government tried to sue Facebook and it was just
yeah, and they're like
clown show.
what is Wi-Fi?
We are literally not smart enough to take down the scummiest person on earth because we're literally too dumb. Like they don't even understand how the internet works, let alone how to protect us from it.
Yeah. I mean, I might be remembering this incorrectly, but wasn't there like a Southern gentleman type senator that asked Mark Zuckerberg what Wi-Fi was? Didn't he go like, what is Wi-Fi? It's like,
I know, and
motherfucker, if you don't know what Wi-Fi is, get off this council.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like, I am dumb when it comes to math, right? Like, I wanted to be a scientist, but I am smart enough to know, girl, you cannot do math to save your life. But wouldn't you, if you had all this money and all this power at your disposal, what would be the first thing you would do? You would hire someone who knows what they're talking about, right?
Yeah.
And you would have had them sitting next to you right there and being like whispering in your ear, like, okay, so this is what Wi-Fi is. Like, please don't ask that question. Like,
yeah, just bring your nephew or like,
yeah.
like here's actually, we don't need it just yet, but co-producer Colleen just dropped off the lightning round. I'm gonna run over here and grab it, but I'll be right back. A lot of this podcast is still very, very much in the analog era because the lightning rounds come on notebook paper. It's like not even like it doesn't even get emailed to me. But before we even begin to get dangerously close to the lightning round, I got to ask you this. You're releasing the sci-fi series Time Benders this year. Tell me everything I need to know about Time Benders.
Oh boy. Working on Time Benders for over a decade now. I put my foot in it, y'all. You're a Southerner. I put my foot in it. When I was 15 years old, I was walking around Philadelphia with my family, and there was a plaque on the ground that said, Abraham Lincoln stood here and gave a speech in like, I think it was like 18. Oh God, I'm not even going to say the date because it's going to make me sound dumb. But I was standing on the plaque and I was imagining like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if I could use this plaque and travel back in time and see Abraham Lincoln? And that's where it kind of took off from there. So the Time Benders is a percentage of the population that has the ability to use historically significant places to travel back to that specific time period. So, I mean, in the first book, they use standing in Cape Canaveral to travel back and watch the Apollo 11 launch. And, it's just, there's also like an X-Men kind of vibe to it too, in a sense that, of course, people want to trap and enslave them and use them for financial and political gain, as people would, try and pretend like they invented Google or whatever. So yeah, I'm so passionate about it, and I've been waiting to release it for so long. And I've been, we were talking about gatekeepers earlier. The publishing industry up until this point, or any industry really up until this point, has kind of been like a closed off country club. And we are in the wild, wild west of content right now. And literally anything can happen, because if you have like $1,000, you can make whatever it is happen, whether it's like your video game or, your art career or your book series. And I finally just got tired of waiting for someone to notice me. And I'm like, I'm just gonna do the legwork, and I'm gonna put in the work, and I'm gonna make it happen, because y'all need to read this. I mean, you need to.
Yeah.
So, and I guess people are really responding to it because, I released the release date when I was at Atlanta Comic-Con. So that'll be September 2nd. And once I started I've been keeping it really close to the chest, because I know I'm smart enough to know that there is no other story out there like this.
Yeah.
And once I started telling people about it, they were like, oh my God, this is so cool. So now there's like a waiting list that people are joining, because I'm like, I don't have it for you yet. But it's almost here, September 2nd. So
Awesome.
it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. And I didn't realize at Atlanta Comic-Con that there was so many people there from Netflix, because the Avatar, The Last Airbender, they were promoting it. So, and once they started hearing about it, they, Hollywood is desperate for new content right now. So if you've got a story, or if you've got an art, or if you're a creative, like, you can really make anything happen right now.
That's so inspiring, because actually I have a pilot that we're trying to shoot later this year, and it's fucking so cheap to do. Like, we can actually afford it. So, but anyway, Time Benders sounds amazing. Atlanta Comic-Con, I've got to go sometime, because I've heard it is fucking lit, especially like it sounds like it's like there's parties all through the like hotels, and it's just like it's just I don't know, man.
Yeah, Atlanta Comic-Con is pretty low key though, compared to Dragon Con, which is like, if we're comparing, it's more on par with like San Diego, or so I'm gonna be releasing Time Benders Dragon Con weekend, and it's gonna be lit.
Oh shit, I'm gonna see if I can get a press pass and see where's Dragon Con. That's an ATL too, right?
Yeah. And I mean, it's like 10 times bigger than Atlanta Comic-Con. And like, so everybody's got to come out. And
September 2nd.
Their cosplay is like unreal. Like, everything is unreal at Dragon Con.
I will be there wearing my press badge, acting a fucking fool, doing all kinds of stuff I'm not supposed to be doing, going places that I'm not supposed to be going. But I will be there to support you 100%. But Kris, I gotta tell you, oh hell yeah. I got to tell you one thing, though. We are getting dangerously close to the lightning round. Now, let me tell you how the lightning round works. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. You don't have any time to think. You can't think about it. Gut reactions only, just out, blah, 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 blah. Fortunately, you're a writer, and I think this is good, because I just found out you got a Mad Lib. So I'll just be saying things to you like adjective, adverb. I'm going to go ahead and just start this off with I've had several like authors and screenwriters on here before, and everybody always just gets like, don't worry about it when I say like adverb and you go, fuck adverb, like it happens to everyone, or maybe it won't happen to you. I don't know. We'll find out. Are you ready to play?
Okay. Yeah.
The title of this story is Corruption, Greed, and Secrets. Oh my. A Mad Lib story by co-producer Colleen, co-written by Kris Bird. Let's get started. I wonder what this is about. All right. Person's name.
Marty McFly.
Nonsense word.
Poop.
Corporate department, e.g. sales, HR, accounting.
Sorry, what was the question?
A corporate department. So such as like sales, accounting, HR.
Shipping.
That's really good. Same name as before. That's Marty McFly. Adjective.
Sneakily.
I
I don't know if that's a real word, but I love using it.
yeah, sneakily. Yeah, this is when you do something sneaky, do it sneakily. Same name, Marty McFly. Verb ending in the suffix ing.
Passing.
Adjective.
Warm.
I have a feeling this is going to be a really good story.
I feel like my answers aren't exciting enough.
Healthcare supplies.
Oh boy. Codeine.
Call back. All right. Medicine.
Insulin.
Name. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Number.
25.
And another number.
415.
Like 4 decimal point 15.
415.
Oh, 415. Okay. Scientific ingredient.
Lead.
And another scientific ingredient.
Radon.
Radon. I don't even know what that is. All right. Same name as before. That's my boy, Marty McFly. I feel like Marty's going to be going on a whole new adventure. U.S. city.
Atlanta.
Where the players play. Occupation.
Flight attendant.
And a number.
Pi.
Pi?
3.1.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to remember how to draw pi. Okay. Are you ready to hear our story?
Oh, God.
Corruption, Greed, and Secrets. Oh, my. A Mad Lib story by co-producer Colleen, co-written by Kris Bird. We'll make sure to put this in your resume. Okay.
Oh, God.
Once upon a time, there was a person named Marty McFly who worked at a big healthcare company called Poop Medical Solutions in the in the shipping department. Marty McFly liked helping others, but he was worried that the company was price gouging its most sneakily medicines. I feel like okay.
Sneaky medicine.
Its most sneaky medicines. One day, Marty McFly was passing around the office after hours and discovered an old box of files full of warm information about a secret cover-up of illegal trading of codeine. It turns out the company had inflated the price of insulin from costing $25 to over $415. Not only
pretty accurate.
so insanely accurate. Oh my God. It's like this is a Mad Lib where we're just like, this is exactly what a pharmaceutical. Okay. Not only that, they had been cutting corners by using lead instead of radon. And also so accurate, just like the shit they'll put in your medicine. And Marty McFly had found cold hard proof. So they contacted the FBI and a whistleblower. Oh, as a whistleblower, even though they had to live the rest of their lives in Atlanta in witness protection program as a flight attendant. They got a hefty pie amount of dollars reward. Maybe crime does pay. The end.
It could be 3.4 mil, 3.14 mil.
Repeating forever.
Yeah.
Dividends, baby.
Oh, yeah, gotta get them royalties.
All right, Kris, I have one last question. It's the most important question of the day. Where can people find you, follow you, read any of your books that have already come out, and keep track of what's going on with Time Benders?
Kris Bird author is my handle for all things that have to do with me. If you want to find some of my other books, they're on Amazon under Kris Bird. And if you would like to join the Time Benders waiting list, just head over to timebendersaga.com and you can do that. And if you don't want to wait till September 2nd, I'm gonna let people you're going to be solving clues. You're going to be trying to find my secret webpage. If you want that bonus content, you're going to have to work for it. So
hell yeah. Gamified.
Yeah.
Kris, has been an absolute pleasure. I feel like I've learned so much. And thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me, Doug.